This is Pearl Purl gold wire and it comes in different colours and sizes. This one that we're going to use today is gilt number 2. Let's have a look at a close-up of it. It consists of a metal wire wound up into a tight hollow coil. You can see from the photograph that the wire has a domed cross section, giving it the appearance of a row of little pearls. You can see in its natural condition that it has a slight curve to it, so to use it I'm just going to straighten it out. Just take hold of either end of it tightly and take up the tension, and then just pull and stretch it carefully. It will stretch back on itself, so just relax it, and you can see it's still slightly curved, so we'll just pull it one more time, a little bit further this time, and let it relax again. And you can see now that it's perfectly straight. Okay, so once the Pearl Purl has been stretched, you'll notice that the end where it's been held hasn't quite stretched out straight, so I just need to cut the ends off. Put a finger on the pearl to hold it in place, and using a sharp pair of scissors, take one sharp snip to cut off the end. Your Pearl Purl is now ready to be stitched down, so we'll need the following: some sewing thread. I'm using a Gutterman thread colour 488, which is very close in colour to the gold, so the stitches aren't easily noticeable. You'll also need some beeswax. This coats the fibres, sticking them together so that they don't get snagged on the goldwork metals. Natural beeswax has the best properties for this. And finally a needle. Use an embroidery needle which has a long flat eye and a sharp point. The smallest size you can manage is best, a number 12 or 10 is ideal. So let's wax the thread now. So holding the wax in one hand and the thread in the other, just hold the end of the thread on top of the wax firmly with your thumb, then you can pull your thread through the wax. Once you've waxed the whole thread, thread it up in your needle and put a knot in the end. To start your thread, take the needle down from the top on one of the design lines, leaving the knot on the top. This is called a waist knot. Make 2 small stitches fairly close to each other in the felt to secure the start of the thread. Place your Pearl Purl just on the outside of the felt, and I'm going to bring my needle up at the corner of the padding, just about there, which is a good place for a join in the Pearl Purl. Take your thread over the top of the pearl, just catching the end of the felt. I'm going to pull this down slowly and try to catch the end of the Pearl Purl. If I can, just pull that tightly so that the thread disappears between the coils. Take another stitch over that stitch or in the next coil as close as you can to make sure the end of the pearl is secured. Now lay the Pearl Purl in the direction it is to go, and work a stitch every 2 or 3 pearls if you can. So straight up over the top, between the coil and down the other side. You'll notice that I'm laying the thread between the coils before I take my needle down. Stretching the Pearl Purl as we did at the beginning opens up the coil slightly and thus ensures that the thread goes in between the coils and can't be seen. So when you get to the corner, you'll just need to bend the Pearl Purl around gently with your fingers and use a pair of tweezers to squeeze the pearl into a nice sharp point. Just take one stitch right over the end of that pearl just to secure the point. Nice and tightly, and then you can just head off down the next side as you did before. So up on the outside, over the coil and down onto the felt. The Pearl Purl has a natural curve to it, so just bend it around your shape gently and let it sit in its natural shape to give you a nice smooth curve. There's no need to pull on it at all, just let it sit where it wants to. When you get near to the end, you can judge how much pearl you need exactly by laying it in place. Place your scissors in one of the coils, take a sharp snip and to cut the pearl. Just continue stitching as before, right down to the end. I'm going to use Malure just to help me with this part. I'll tell you more about the Malure in the next video. So we just need 2 stitches over the very end if we can. Right into the point just to secure the end of the Pearl Purl. To finish off, 2 small stitches in the felt just as you did at the beginning to secure the end of the thread this time. Then bring your needle back to the top, cut off your thread, and you can cut your waist knot off also. And there's your finished piece of Pearl Purl. I've added some more Pearl Purl around some of the petals in exactly the same way that I've just shown you. There are no sharp curves in these pieces, so just bend the pearl around gently as you stitch to get nice smooth curves. You can start and finish your threads on the design lines. Look out for part 3 of the Goldwork tutorial, where I'm going to demonstrate the chipwork technique.